All right, welcome to this late night impromptu show. Oh man, so I don't know why I subject myself to this. I seen an open panel just now, and I decided to go. This chick named Mariah, something or other, and apparently, maybe earlier in the conversation, this has been like a 5 hour stream for them. Um, apparently, earlier in the conversation, they were talking about. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. There's a guy that went to the Dominican, and apparently some woman, and O'Shea did a video on him. Some woman accused him of linking up with her underage sister, and he was on Razor Rays defending himself, and um, and basically what it appears he said was um, he linked up with her, and he was told, and he's seen IDs and everything, that she was over 18. Um, so I don't know what happened. I don't know what he knows. So I didn't do a video on him. I'm not going to pass judgment on him. That's for judges to do. So there's that. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what he knew. So yeah, that is the beginning and end of that, for me. I do feel that um, anything he say can and will be used against him. I do feel that the sister who set them up, she really has no shame if the younger sister was underage. Just like, wait a minute, and it is amazing that a woman could say that basically she was a P to her younger sister, and no one caught that out. Everybody was just focused on the dude. I found that really, really interesting. So, but yeah, so all of that, I just kind of just ignored it. So I go on Mariah's show just now, and I was talking about something else completely different, and then this dude comes up, and he's talking about how much he loves older women. And then she said, every guy that I talk to talks about how splish splashier it is. And I had to chime in and say, listen, it doesn't get, and this isn't, me, this is science. Like, it doesn't get splish splashier as you get older. It just, biology, human biology don't work that way. Just like people don't get more athletic as they get older. You know, a woman don't get splish splashier. You got Halle Berry admitting that she tried up, she got dry, she got dry, and she's 59 years old. So I believe that men were either lying to her or she's lying to everyone else. But let me just share with you all what happened. I want y'all to hit that like button. All right, so let me go back some. But I want to talk about ex workers. Now, I've seen a couple of her shows. I don't know why she's appearing on my timeline, but I've seen a couple of her. Maybe that's why. Um, and one thing that she has made abundantly clear in the 5, 10 hour streams that she do is that she is highly insecure about competition. She gave an example previously about how you know she, as a scripper, she didn't like immigrants because apparently the club that she worked for was hiring women from Cuba who was giving that BJ, that Billie Jean, for $10, while she's giving a lap dance for $20. Now, of course, any smart man is going to take the Billie Jean. Just take the initials of Billie Jean. They're going to take the Billie Jean over the lap dance. In fact, they'll take two Billie Jeans over having a woman just dance on your jeans. So it makes all the sense in the world, and she hates the competition. A lot of people don't like immigrant competition. She is one of them for that reason. Hit the like button. But I noticed that everything she does and all of her stance and views is to eliminate competition. And the reason that she wants to eliminate the competition all the time is not because she's actually competing for these men, but she's competing for the adoration of these men. She wants these men to be her fans. And the thought that a younger version of her can take the attention of these men scares the silicone out her tits. It truly does. Now, if y'all don't believe me, I mean, you could just watch and look at your screen. You'll see that she has on, what seems to be a evening dress or something like that, and she is obviously showing off her spread apart tits in front of a chat room full of men. Talking about, oh, I'm not going to sleep with any of you, so why are you watching me? Yeah, right. Okay. Anyway, let's go to the part where I was here.
Visas. Because my whole thing is, how are y'all doing all this traveling with all these charges? But
anybody on the panel, but there's guys in the past that knew all about my stuff, said, we know you ain't this type of person, but because if you talk shit, charges are, we don't give a damn about it.
My bad, let me cue it up.
Really say it. Because when I was in flip-flops, none of these, in fact, flip-flop even just faced my charges like a man. I made a mistake. It is what it is. Get off probation, and I could crash out again. Because people be thinking I'm soft. I'm not. Listen. Listen. Y'all, I'm going off what Rico said. And now, shout out to my old people, OGs. I'm not disrespecting Rico. I'm just saying people judge that situation with me and QB. That practicing. So.
All right. Well, I want to say this. You said that you made a mistake. I don't think that you made any mistakes other than not getting the thing in right.
But
no, I know. Again, I know. I don't appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah.
No.
Listen. Hold on. I'm not talking about you, GameChanger. I'm talking about the people.
All right, hold on. Let me just
know that stuff. So if you want to try me, let's do it, bro.
Let me ask you a question, Milano.
Well, he's probably tired of you falling on the ground.
Hold on. I got a serious question outside of that because I ain't trying to fuck with you. Because I want to ask you again, because Mariah said in particular, I know when you Future were like this when y'all were up there for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So you're at
Future is the guy in question. Future is the guy who, with his sister and everything. So, check out Razor Rays if you want more on that.
Okay, all right. So I don't want nobody to think I'm throwing no dirt on your name. Because I seen y'all did content, y'all were doing this that way. So my question is this. At any time when you and Future were up there, because I'm trying to ask you the same question I asked Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Did you ever? Because we all know what the situation is right now.
Yeah.
Did you see him having a taste for them young gals?
I will say his taste is the young women.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not asking you to say anything more. Now,
Yeah.
Now my question is, you're in your 40s.
Real quick. I got a shout out. There's a super chat, a cash app that I got from
Oh crap!
No, because I'm getting you hot. Don't be hot.
No, that nigga hit my.
No, he sent it privately to her.
I know he is.
We don't need to know.
He's sitting in the chat cussing me out, telling me to shut the fuck up. It is. Salute to you. We gotta get a soundboard. Salute. Say, hey, I appreciate it.
By the way, this Rico dude thirsts for her really hard. Like, he's on like every time I come up, and he's always trying to aggrandize himself and monopolize the mic time. He definitely wants to be, and that's why he's camped up. He definitely wants to be noticed by her. It's amazing that at his age he really don't see how the game is played, and that is, smile, be nice, make them think that they got a chance, and extract whatever you like from them. In this case, clicks, views, attention, and money, of course. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's continue.
Future are almost the same age, right?
Yeah, he's a little younger than me, but yeah.
Okay, a year or two. So my question is, and I'm gonna ask you the same question we asked Las Vegas. Do you have a problem, or because I don't know, you didn't tell me the age of the girl. Do you have a problem? Are you dating 18-year-olds?
Thank you.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Rico.
What's your youngest age? You.
I'm gonna be really honest. I prefer them 30 and up, but if I can get I actually smashed a 62-year-old in Los Rennes. I like them 50 and up. But if I have to go under, I guess I got to do a 30-year-old.
So that's your youngest. Why?
Go ahead. Now I will say, listen, Rico. I don't want to look like I'm lying. I'm the realest YouTuber met. I mean, you never met. I have smashed ones that were 25, 27, but I prefer them older. Like I even dealt with one that. Well, what do you mean old? Oh, one, they'll take care of you. Two, they'll cook for you. You don't have to really pay for food. Three, you can actually have somebody appreciate you. Four, they're not everybody's running in them. And five, you have great conversations you can have.
All right. Not everybody's running them. Okay, so if everybody runs in 18-year-olds, then wouldn't it make sense that when the 62-year-old that you're with, everybody ran up in her, and then she's been, like run up in since? Like, no matter what, a 62-year-old is likely going to have more bodies than an 18-year-old. At least more run-ins. So, yeah, it's starting to get weird. But once again, there's a lot of dudes that they're just, whenever a woman's on a panel, they just go into this mode where they tell them what they know that they want to hear. There are men out there who understand that women want to feel like their best years are ahead of them, not behind them. And that's the furthest from it. Okay, anyway.
Decent conversations. Like, I used to talk to the 62-year-old one that was dealing with in Los Rennes. People thought I was crazy. You're nasty dealing with her. But we had good conversations. She taught my head off. One time she stayed in my damn hotel and slept over because we were talking so much. Because you have trying to have that sign mentality and stuff like that.
I will say this, Milano, because I think that this man got friend zoned by a 62-year-old woman. You was in a hotel with a 60-year-old woman talking, playing old maid and pinochle. Oh, we was just talking about the good old days where you made ice cream with the washboard and you churned your own butter. Now, people don't really know that if you churn the butter yourself, it comes out white. Now, this yellow butter that they have now is in the factories, and they got all kind of chemicals in these butters. But back in my day, we used to churn the butter, we used to smooth it out, and every now and again, some white folks would come driving down the road through the color town, and we used to give them some of the butter for 50 cents. Now, I know what you're thinking. 50 cents isn't a lot of money, but I tell you, back then, 50 cents could buy you a lot. I once bought on a nickel, I once bought 118 sticks of licorice. And I'm not talking about this red licorice that he listened to that all damn night. All damn night. All right. I think that there's some, implied judgment going on. Barely legal is legal. So yes, it's good that you like them
Keto
older.
alert!
I'm
Keto
speaking to
alert!
I'm
Keto alert!
speaking
How,
to
Motherfucking
how,
keto alert!
once again, desperate to try to eliminate competition. I'm not competing for this chick. Far from it. I'm speaking
Mariah,
to Milana. I'm
Let's
speaking
say
to
this,
how
Milana.
wait,
is
real
it
quick.
keto alert?
Real quick, I want to
Yeah.
respond to this comment. All these guys online say they prefer older women, but their actions say otherwise. Just like when they said they prefer dark skinned women, but chase light skinned women. I'm gonna be so for real. Even before I got online,
Okay. Now, this comment has a point. He's basically saying that they're lying. And I agree. All these guys say they prefer older women, but their actions state otherwise. Listen, go to Corn Hub. Go to the hub where they keep all the corn, right? The Nebraska Corn Hub. Go there. And I want you to type in like top 100 corn stars and see how old they are. In fact, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm gonna give you the number and the ranking of the no is just going completely, and y'all about to hear it. It's about to go into like a completely top 100 female. All right. Let's see. Oh, it's not giving the rankings. It says, what is it giving? All right, top 100 female porn stars. Okay, this is from Feed Spot for influencers. Actually, X videos seem to have something like that, so we'll go there. All right. There's Viola Nah, she looks like she's about 20. Okay. Riley, Little Bet, Willow Ryder. I think I've seen this one before. Um, I think I've seen her before. Let's see. All right, now I'm looking at 6, 7. Nope, nope, nope. Where are the old bitches? Come on now. All right, there's the first Asian one. Oh, dang. The first black woman comes in at like number 35. Now, the first light skinned one, I think like Willow Ryder, I don't know if she's mixed. Maybe she's just like a white girl with curly hair. So I'm going to say the first like unambiguously black woman is Lily Starfire, who's number 35. All right. Ooh, Dylan Block. She looks like she can get it. All right. Let's see. Um, I'm looking at 40. I still have not come across an old chick. I don't think that they're even in the top 100. I where's the old? Here's one with an old dude. Amy Quinn. She's with an old dude. All right. So right now I'm at 80. Nothing old yet. All right. Now I'm looking at 86. Still nothing old. Oh, there's an Arabic one. Okay. Fiji, Fiji. Okay. Um, she looked like she got skills. Not the hottest, but she looked like she got skills. Okay. There we go. 100. They're not in the top 100. Like not one. I mean, this is what people click on. They're not clicking on these 62-year-old women. Like these are fetishes and outliers. Uh, and I look further. I'm like at 149 now. 155. Her name is Twerking Ellie. I don't know if she's old or is she addicted to meth. But even if she was old, it's still like 50. So yes, you don't get into and I know the grandma stuff exists, but nobody watches it. But the very few. Oh, by the way, there's no fat ones either. No one is watching it, but the very few outliers that exist in the world. Like nobody is really into it like that. It's a unique fetish. So stop telling these women and let them tell themselves that, oh no, it gets better with time and men want it more. And shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Shout out to Chantel Simone. Saggy Titty. And you know what I'm talking about. And that comes from, years of stripping and not wearing bras because, it makes stripping easier. But nevertheless, I don't believe you.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I have met a lot, and it just might be the two type of dudes I date.
So notice how she say the dudes that I be dating. You see, this is what's called training the audience. This is how you mass manipulate somebody. I date dudes who like older women. See my tits? So I'm just saying, like, if you're interested, then, just know that I like guys that like older women. So what kind of women do you like? Because the dudes that I date like older women. Yeah, y'all see what's going on there, right?
You telling me that they like would prefer women their age or older, and I told me like on the secret.
Yeah, I'm sure it was quite a few.
Like this, not even necessarily guys that I dated, but just dudes I be around that they've been like they be in their 30s knocking down 60-year-olds, and so.
Okay, so she just happens to find herself in a circle of niggas that go around boinking 60-year-olds. I mean, part of me wants to believe her and say it makes sense because she's attracting an audience that are thirsty, so they'll pretty much take anything. And if that's your audience base, then of course you're gonna be, oh no, I like them. I like them young and old. I like them 18 to 80.
So like a lot of y'all think, oh no, don't know man. Nah, they do be one of them. And the reasons that they tell me that they like these women, are y'all there?
Yeah, we listen.
Tell me that they like those women. The reason why they tell you that is because it's what you want to hear, and you have your tits in their face when they say it.
Then I can hear you.
We
The
listening. We
reasons
hear
that
you.
they have told me that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
like these women is they tell me the older women's cootie cat be more splashy, like it be good.
And this is where I just had to interject because really, and whenever women lie, whenever they lie, it's always fabricated personal experience. I didn't know there was an obesity problem amongst black women. The ones I see are all slim with natural hair and natural eyelashes and no kids, waiting to serve cupcakes to charity kids in Africa. You ever notice that? Like their personal reality is completely different than actual reality. Like they're the person sitting in that Slavic country that oh, I didn't know it was a conflict going on outside. Everybody I know is cool. Ever notice that? That their personal perception is completely different than everyone else's, every honest person's personal perception. They tell me that it's Splish Splash down there, that it's a raging water park down there, that it's Niagara Falls down. Why are men telling you about the splish splash, the JJs of geriatric women? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make it doesn't make sense to have that conversation. Now, once again, it's possible that it's true. And it's possible that it's true if, hold on, she led the conversation, meaning that she started the conversation with, I don't like these dudes that like them young girls or something like that, or just implied that she's threatened by younger women. And then because, like you say, you're dating these guys, because you're dating these guys, they're going to say something to quell your potential insecurity. They're not going to be honest with you like I'm about to be. Watch this. That's simply not true.
Let me finish my stuff. The game changer. You know you don't like older women or black women. Let me finish what I'm
They
saying.
diminish what you say by just saying, "Oh, that's just because you don't like them." And this is something that black women have done, since emancipation. Like they simply just write every critique out as blind hatred. Oh no, you just don't like you just don't like black people. It's like, no, I have a serious concern about your childhood literacy rate. No, you just don't like black people. I don't have to listen to this. That's what she's doing now. Hit the like button.
This is what these men are saying. They're saying that you know how people say it dry up as they get older. They say
once again, people seem to have completely different lived realities. They have completely different lived realities than what's actually going on in the world in biology.
say that they like, because the women can't get pregnant. They say
Yep.
that they like that they can
Exactly.
sleep with them without a rubber. They say
Yes.
that they're
Yes.
cleaners. They be saying
Sister,
all of that stuff about the older women and that they more chill and they be cooking. This is what a lot of men have told me. And I personally, my ex-boyfriend's mom, she's almost 70 years old. She's almost 70 years old. No lie, her body's way better than mine.
That really says something about you. That really says something about you. But she's 70 years old. Her body is way better than yours. So, okay. Once again, always these personal lived experiences. Not saying that it's not possible for a 70-year-old woman to have a body that's better than yours. Jesus, I don't even want to think about that. But nevertheless, what's his name from the Warriors with the sexy mom? Steph Curry. Not saying that it don't exist. But I'm sure her body was sexier when she was young. When she was younger. Just saying. Show me a 70-year-old sexy woman, and I'll show you a woman who was sexier at 20. I remember years ago, back when she was alive, somebody showed me a picture of Betty White, the longest lived Golden Girl. And I was like, oh, and I'm not saying she looked good when she was, when I seen her on Golden Girls, but I was just saying like, oh, dang, she had it going on back in the day. Is just so like, like not every old woman was sexy, but every old woman was sexier than when she was younger. Unless she was like a 300-pounder that lost weight or something strange like that happened, chances are she was a lot hotter. So yeah, you just said that your boyfriend's mom was an attractive for a 70-year-old woman, and she likely was just attractive. Hit the like button. Or it's just completely made up.
Snatched waist, big.
Oh my gosh, she is looking at an elderly woman's titties.
Big country booty. Country.
She really just checked out. You will never catch me say that about a 70-year-old woman. You will never. You will never. I don't. So listen, if I was about that life, I would be volunteering at the nursing home. I would be doing something like that. Like, ooh, you got a snatch waist. Like, holy crap. Okay.
She works out. Nice. She looks like she could be about 15 years younger than what she is. And always flying, stepping out. She didn't get married until she was in her late 50s to a man that was 5 years younger than her. Right? And he pays, but she has to fight.
She admires this woman. Like, there wasn't a reason to mention that she didn't get married till her late 50s, except that she admires. She wants to wait. She basically, all these chicks just love biding their time. And the reason why is because when you're married, there's less simps. Not saying that the simps go away, but there's far less simps in the chat room. Because you take away their fantasy. Like most of the guys in the chat room now are there because they think they have a possibility. Her being married takes away from that possibility. So she lives off of that. She feeds off of it. And she wants to milk it for as long as she can. and that's why she's fantasizing about old bras that are marrying in their 50s.
Her son's friends offer her. Like she's literally having to fight all the young men off her until leave her alone and all that. So she got motion.
Mariah,
I mean, okay. Are they really fighting them off? Like, why isn't the son saying something like, nigga, stop looking at my mom? And how old is the son? Like, if she's in her 70s, wouldn't he be in his 50s or at least 40s or something? I don't even know. Like, the last time I bought a friend to meet my mom, yet alone one that would say, like, you know, and my mom's not in her 70s, but yet alone one that would say, ooh, your mom look good. That's just weird. So from a biological standpoint, men are wired to be attracted to fertility.
To what age?
Now that doesn't mean that outliers don't exist, but there are more liars than there are outliers. Meaning that there are
the age game.
Yeah, I'm speaking to Mariah. Meaning that there are a lot more men who are lying about their preference than there are ones who prefer older women. But I could tell you from a biological standpoint that women do not get splashier down there as they age. If anything, they become.
You know?
No. Answer the preference.
I just told her from a biological standpoint that women don't get splashier as they age, because they don't. Well, okay, they do. Let me take that back. They do. But that splash is urine. That's piss. They're far more likely to piss on you at that age. And she said, how do you know? Okay. Implying that you actually got to sleep with a woman to gauge the splashiness. Now, okay. If you're sleeping with older women, then you obviously have that preference to begin with, meaning that you're going to fabricate the experience to be better. But really, from a scientific standpoint, the only way to truly know is to sleep with her when she's both young and old. Meaning that she smashed when she was 18, and you smashed when she was 80, and 80 was a lot splashier. That would be the only way. Because this splashy 62-year-old would have to, what if she was like twice as splashy when she was half her age? And she's still diminished. But now the conversation is going to get weird because she's offended because it's and I wasn't doing this intentionally, but it's just eating into her fantasy that she'll always have this particular power of manipulation over thirsty ninjas. I've taken away that fantasy. She feels that she wants this thirst train to go on for as long as possible.
Ask them the preference.
How you know you don't like older women? How you know the coochie ain't better?
So I don't like them now. So I just go around smacking grandmas. Stating that the JJ don't splash the same is me not liking them. Because I'm that dude. I just go around just slapping walkers underneath bras. Just hemming them up like, give me those teeth. Give me those dentures, bitch. Take off that diaper. That's me. I'm just like the Debo of the nursing home. Good question. Biological studies. But basically, during certain
you ain't never felt none. I don't want to hear that because you ain't never fell up in none. Okay?
This dude is just echoing what she's saying. Okay. Listen, I don't need a man's butt to know I don't like a man's butt. You don't.
Let
You
him
don't
tell
have
us.
to. That's like saying, how do you know that it's not trees on Mars? You've never been. How do you know that the moon isn't made out of blue cheese? You've never been. You see the ah. She got really defensive. It just ate into her sad little stripper um, brain.
What's his preference?
You,
What's
you
your
don't have
preference,
to.
game changer?
Are
It's all pure reference.
What's the age?
Yeah, no worries. No, but from a biological standpoint, just like they know that a woman stops having children at a certain age, she also stops producing lubrication at a certain age.
We
and
do. Mulatto.
so now she's going to someone who has that particular fetish or claims to have that particular fetish. But go ahead. So,
Let him
so,
talk. Let him
What'd you
talk.
say?
so it
Mariah?
does not. So it does not get splashier as they get older. Unfortunately,
But you don't know for sure.
Mariah, let him talk. Let him talk.
He said it's a dryer.
Let this nigga talk.
yeah, it gets drier. So again, you know, there's a lot of lying going on about older women. Now, to answer the brothers,
What if the book lied to you? Because you ain't never felt it.
okay. What if the book lied to you? By that logic, you never had one. And what if the dudes were lying to you? But let me continue. The book is written by those. The book is written by those who have, and Holly Berry herself even said it that her stuff dried up.
You right. You right. Don't listen to her, game change.
Nevertheless, I'll answer Rico's question.
Please.
I prefer women who are fertile. Fertility age range varies. Now, I want y'all to listen to what I said. I prefer women, WOMN, who are fertile. I prefer women who are fertile. Watch their response from woman to woman.
Typically,
I don't know what you mean by that.
when does it typically start? Typically, when does fertility start?
Fertility starts somewhere between 36 and 54.
So typically, when does fertility start?
When does it start?
Yeah, you said
Okay.
you prefer.
Let's put it like this. I'm into women who are legal and fertile.
So legally
How old
would
are you,
be
GameChanger?
18 and
I'm in my
what?
40s.
You in your 40s.
18, so
So
they don't have any more damn age.
you would date an 18-year-old?
Yes,
That's legal.
yes, I would.
Get the fuck off my show.
Why you take him off, Mariah?
That's funny to these niggas. So Langdon said it best. He says female content creator seems to make many thirst communities. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it's funny because let's just say I was 40 years old, right? I'm older than that, but let's just say I was 40 years old. It would be okay for me to go up 22 years. So if I was 40 years old and I was messing with a woman who was 62, everybody's clapping like, splish splash. She got that splish splash. It's okay. The 22-year age gap is okay at that point. But if you go in the other direction, now keep in mind, she is the old one. She is going after the younger fruit. But that's okay, right? It's okay for her old geriatric ass to be messing with the young boys. But if a guy goes in the other direction, it's like, oh yeah, get off my show. And dude is just laughing, and the simpery is amazing. It is amazing. And the one person who isn't just get kicked off and laughed at. Okay.
What the hell? No, you should have let him
fucking
rock a
nasty.
little
I
bit.
told you.
You should have let
Get
him
the
rock a
fuck
little
off.
bit.
You
I
come back
told you.
and
I had some
you
questions
fucking
for him.
nasty and weird, bro. That's why you come up here with all the misogynistic ass talking points.
Misogynistic. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to sit up here talking about older woman coochie. You ain't never been up in now coochie. You ain't never.
That's true. That's true. The oldest woman that I've been with was in her 40s. It was not an experience that I particularly enjoyed. I was doing it as a favor to somebody, hopefully with hopes that it would be repaid. Meaning that a female, let's just call her a friend of mine, um, asked me to do this old chick, and she would make it up to me. Now, this female friend has, okay, um, at the time, I was 30 at the time. At the time, anytime you have a female friend that has random friends that needs dick and she calls you for it, that's a good thing. You don't want to see that end. You don't want to see that arrangement end. It's like, okay, okay. She wants me to be the one to fuck her friends. That's fine. I'll take a few old ones to get to her hot friends. That's my thinking at the age of 30. It's like, okay, if it's my job to keep her friends satisfied, they all can't be hot. So, for example, right, there was this movie, um, She Hate Me, with the guy, I think his name Anthony Mackie, the guy who played on as the Falcon on in the MCU on Avengers and Captain America. He also played as Captain America, the black dude. It's a Spike Lee joint, and basically this guy he was a master of the universe, big money type dude, and he fell into hard economic times. His ex came up, who was played by the beautiful Kerry Washington, came up and said, "Hey, um, I like women now, and I want your seed. We want kids." It was her and her equally attractive girlfriend. Her girlfriend was played by the woman who played the female lead on Next Friday, the Mexican sister. And he reluctantly did it, got paid $10,000. Now, they decided to make a business of it. So the next day, she comes with more, let's just say, thespian actresses. One of whom was Ba Ling. Another one was I think her name is Michelle Jai Parker, something like that, the woman who played on Hustle and Flow. These were even though these women were not into men like that, these were still attractive women. Very much so. And he got $10,000 a pop. So that was his life now. Which, if you don't mind spreading your seed like that, that's a good deal, especially for $10,000 a pop. So then he gets a call, and this call was to say, okay, I'm going to send some more women over, but don't think it's going to be like last night. and she sent over a bunch of, bruised knuckle, Big Bertha types, what is studs. She sent over a bunch of studs. So the studs. My point is, I know I'm telling a story within a story, but my point is that the way I understood it was like I had to do some women that I didn't want to do in order to get to the ones that I did. That's how I looked at that situation. And that's why I boinked the older woman. And by older, I mean older than I was at the time. And it was whack. She said, "Don't bend my arm that way." And I'm like, "Bitch, what?" I don't like to be told I can't do shit. And I'm not even gonna get into the details, but it was awful. It's not the worst I've ever had, but it was terrible. Everything about it was terrible. And this dude, goofy as hell.
Been up in our you ain't hit no.
Okay. It really doesn't. Okay, so I was in my 40s the last 18-year-old that I've been with. That being said, but even if that one off, because it doesn't happen all the time, even if that one off experience didn't happen, I still was with 18-year-olds when I was 18. So that point doesn't even matter. But this is the defensive, you ain't getting no pussy. So obviously she's really triggered. She's really into her feelings. She's really into her feelings. She's really just like, I mean, she's shocked, appalled, and I'm kicked off the thing and talk shit about and all that stuff. And, you know,
Your weird ass talk. GameChanger, get the fuck on with that bullshit.
Look on her face. Look at the look on her face. She is just gleaming. She's hoping that she's just like, yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about this fantasy elderly box that men just want so much. It's disgusting. This is disgusting. Look at the look on her face.
Oh wait, one second. Can I get back?
I wanted to ask him some questions.
The
Man.
fuck? He thought we was finna sit up and listen to any more of that shit.
But Mariah.
Yeah, we're not going to listen about that. We are going to listen about elderly box. We're about to listen about AARP box. Like wow. Yeah, exactly. Like it ruined her fantasy and hope. Her fantasy is that she will be 62 years old, having niggas in the chat, thirst after her the same way. But what 62-year-old woman do you know that's doing that? Who's the 62-year-old OnlyFans broad that's still just, getting money off of men's thirst?
Mariah, I got a bone to pick with you because I told your ass about 8 shows ago who the fuck he was, and you gonna stop fucking disrespecting me and you gonna start listening to me. I told you who he was and how he was. But you like, oh, I'm gonna listen to him, Rico. I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm like, here we go.
What's the oldest you date, Mariah? Probably about 38. I don't like to go too younger. I really, essentially, I prefer to date men my age.
Everybody
As
prefers
close
to
to my
date.
age you can get.
But Mariah, here's the deal. Everybody prefers to date people within their generational gap. So again, I'm a boomer. So I'll do boomer and fucking what is
Thank
it,
you,
X
Christian.
or millennial, whatever. But nobody wants to be dating 3 and 4 and 5 generations apart. That's unnatural. Now,
Yeah,
can
ain't
you
nobody trying to
do
do
it?
That is unnatural because they're all fucking dead. 5 generations apart is dead.
Yes, you can do it because without
It is a preference because dude is smashing a chick in a different generation. With his 62.
it's like, okay, when you done fucking them, what you gonna talk about?
Yeah, but
Because
that's
you
not
gotta
like no.
talk after.
You actually don't have to talk after. You actually don't have to talk after. Listen, most of the time I don't talk after. Um, I'm gonna tell you something. If you have energy to talk afterwards, well, I'm not gonna say anything about that. But I will say that many times I don't have the energy to talk. If I have any energy whatsoever, I shower. And I don't shower every time immediately after. I don't. One time, one time, it was so spectacular. I immediately fell asleep, like they say on what's that called? Harlem Nights. After 45 minutes, fall into a deep coma-like sleep. So it was one of those. It was a deep coma-like sleep. Woke up. I don't know how long later. Went and took a piss, and I still had the damn condom on. That's how you know it's good. It's the talk afterwards. These dudes are constantly virtue signaling. I shouldn't say these dudes. This nigga is because I haven't really heard from these two. This dude is just constantly virtue signaling.
That's weird. They nasty. They weird. Ain't nobody. They ain't trying. Now, Milano, where's Milano?
He in the chat. He in the chat. He said, "Let him back up."
But that's the whole point, Mariah. When people sit there and realize, I'm like, look, okay, you're making the argument or discussion around the sex. The sex. I'm like, okay, or whatever.
That's what them type of dudes. That's what I'm saying. They want a young girl that don't know how to articulate herself.
When the
don't know
sex
shit
is
about
done,
they want, and then they think that shit not predator.
So, 18-year-olds don't know how to articulate themselves, huh? Ever notice how women her age, younger women, are complete and total blithering idiots, but they're the first to say 40 is the new 20. So you're an idiot too then. 38 is the new 18, then you're an idiot too then, right? Because apparently 18-year-olds are idiots. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Women don't really mature much. They don't gain much depth at all with age. A little, but not much. Not much. Like a dizzy 18-year-old is, chances are she's going to be dizzy for a very long time. Like they don't gain wisdom. Now, I'm going to say this about Western women because I think that you need certain life events in order to mature. It varies from person to person, but certain things give you different outlooks on life, certain life experiences, certain traumatic experiences. Like, a person who has led a extraordinarily privileged life is probably going to really not have a broader perspective. Oh, take for example, right? Christina Applegate. Christina Applegate is attractive, white, and blonde, which is double white. So she really didn't have any reason to mature until she received, I think she got MS. Things like this change. It matures your outlook on life. Most of these bras, most of these modern chicks have not experienced anything that matured them in any significant way. They live in this dizzy bubble and they only believe the stuff that's told to them that they wish to believe. And anybody else get kicked off the panel. She's walking around like, la 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 la, my coochie's gonna be forever wet, la 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 la. And you know it's not gonna be forever wet because it's not as wet as it was 10 years ago. Or 15 years ago. La 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 la, men like single mothers, la 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 la, nothing wrong with stripping, la 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 la. Like they create these illusions and then anything that pierced their bubble, they just get rid of. So yeah, there's no real maturity.
And that's why I keep saying, you get them young, you can mold them. And then the girl get older and she realized what the fuck you did and what type of time you was on, and she fucking hates your guts.
And
that's really what happens. That's literally what happens damn near every single time. She gets older and she hates your fucking guts.
Because there's nothing to talk about on either end. So I'm like, there's nothing to talk about you as an older person to a younger person or a younger person. She talking about some fucking TikTok shit and you sitting there trying to watch the fucking news. I'm like, y'all.
Nigga, you are on here trying to fuck a woman who TikToks. How come you're not watching the news? Mariah has TikTok stripped and is now on a panel full of men with a nightgown. What is she doing different than a woman who is a little older than half her age? What is she doing different? What in the fuck is Mariah doing different now than at 18? This nigga pretend like he only fucks boomers. This is sick.
You supposed to be in the same fucking bed together. The fuck is wrong with you? Old people, we fuck different. I put my dick in, I can't, and we both go to sleep.
That's a you problem.
young people, y'all doing this shit. It's like it's different. I don't fuck at this age like I did when I was that age. You
And neither does she. That's why I'm not interested in fucking a bitch your age.
can't be trying to do it generationally. It's dumb. So
Because
what
you only fuck boomers.
I wanted to ask Milano in particular the same question I asked you, Las Vegas, was
Yeah,
Hold on,
ask the
wait.
same question.
Wait, let me
Okay,
get to
go
my
ahead.
question, Milano. Tell us what it is with the older women. GameChanger said it.
Oh, she is going to fucking charge her rose. She's gonna charge her rose tonight over this shit. She got that gas powered rose just for situations like this. Cause she was waiting patiently, nah, tell us about the old pussy. Come on, tell me how good old pussy is. Like, all right. This is fucked up. This is sad. This is sad. This is how they prepare for the wall. This is funny.
It get dry, but he ain't never fell up in that. He too scared to come outside. So
Now,
you tell us, Milano.
now
What's
before I say this, I had a question. The person that you said that because I was agreeing with a lot what you were saying. You said there was guys that said it was tighter. They didn't have to use they didn't have to use protection.
And it
Who
was
said that?
flashier.
Who said that?
Nobody on here.
That was GameChanger.
But no, it was a guy, right? It was guys.
Game Changer.
Everybody that I've talked to that mess with older women tell me that that is wetter, it's tighter. They take care of themselves better. It's flat. Yeah. They say.
Of course, every guy that you talk to said, "Well, I'm a guy and I don't say that shit." So there goes your perfect record of niggas telling you what you want to hear. But yeah, of course the guys say that because if they don't, you would end the date right there. Like that's the only thing you listen to.
You shouldn't have mentioned it. And you saying that in QB's words, yes, brother.
I have no idea what the fuck these niggas are talking about.
When she said that the pussy is wetter and tighter with the older women, that the guys are saying, I said in a QB passport flexing voice, yes, brother,
So
yes.
that's
I mean, I think there's some truth. Yeah, I know it's funny as shit. That sounds just like
I tell you, I
So
know.
it is true.
But it is. I
just-
mean, I had the one that was 62 years old. You know, that was super tight. Like, you know, she wasn't messing around. I didn't have to use no protection. And a lot of them are very clean, so they're not sleeping around. So you don't have to worry about STDs. And a lot of the older women.
This is nasty as fuck.
You ain't gotta. You take them out to a restaurant. It don't even matter what kind of restaurant, as long as it's not Mickey D's. But you know what I mean? You take them to a decent restaurant, man, those jokers will be appreciative. I dated a 50-year-old El Salvadoran lady. I dated a lady from South Carolina, Dylan, that was black, that was in her 50s. My mom didn't approve of it at the time. I was in my late 20s, but that's neither here nor there. And then I dated another black older woman and stuff like that. And then, like I said, the 62-year-old Dominican lady in Las Terrenas. But yeah, they're very appreciative when you take them out. And
So by the time this happened, because she's still alive, by the time this happened, I had already started my own stream, so I didn't really hear this part. I didn't know that this dude was talking like this. This is kind of bad. Just the thought that you're traveling to get 50-year-old broads. I tell you, it triggers me when brothers travel for low quality. It really does. Somebody said, "How old is he?" Talking about splashy coochie. Well, he's 44, but he wasn't the one that said it. Apparently, according to Mariah, all the dudes that she dates fuck old bitches and compliment the splashiness on it. But I mean, obviously, when they see your reaction to me versus the dudes who big up old pussy, they're dating you. They're going to tell you what you want to hear.
The thing what people guys don't understand. They're saying, "Oh, well, no one wants some older women because they're so-called desperate or whatever." That's better on the end with the older women because that's the same situation, but they're legal. The older women, they're hitting the wall. They ain't got no options, and you get.
I want y'all to understand that he just said that he likes to fuck older women because they're desperate. In a very roundabout way. But okay, let's continue.
They look at you, especially if you're a younger guy. Like if you like me, I'm 44, but a lot of people say I don't look it. I'm like a prize to them. So these jokers are like, "Yo, I better give you on my best behavior, cooking food."
So youth is a prize. Interesting. And you would rather be the prize than to win the prize. Okay, even more interesting.
That's why people are like, "Yo, Milano, I thought you was working out. How come you still have a belly in DR?" Newsflash, the chick was cooking for me all the time. I was saving money on food. I hope y'all happy now. 62-year-old was cooking for me. And now,
and in the Dominican, what was she, 22? At least she was 22. 22-year-old was cooking for me. What's your get? So that's this dude. Remember I told y'all the story not too long ago about the Dominican chick who poured some spoiled milk on her cereal and ate it? Apparently, when you go to the Dominican, people just okay consuming spoiled shit.
that joke.
Hold on, Milano, because now let's go into another direct. Because I'm hearing you saying about all the stuff that you can get out of an older woman, right?
Yeah.
Like the things she do for you and what you can get out of the situation.
Yeah.
Could you ever see yourself taking an older woman seriously? And I think that's a.
There she goes. She's queuing you up. She's queuing you up. Come on now. Tell her what she wants to hear. Tell her that you just fantasize about marrying a 80-year-old bitch. Tell her that you just are waiting for that pension. Just tell her that.
Another point that the man made, that they'll sleep with the older women, but maybe not take them seriously, because it's like you're talking about all these things you can get out of her because you feel like.
Now, keep in mind, I'm the misogynist because I'm willing to date a young legal woman, but I'm the misogynist. Now, this person here, he's getting one over on old desperate women. I want everybody here to call their grandma. If you do not call your grandma, she'll get lonely and she'll start fucking niggas like this.
Older woman, or would you ever be with a woman that was older than you?
I'm glad you asked that. So the two women I was talking about, not the 62-year-old one in Las Serenas, but the one I was talking about, and actually I forgot to mention one that I was actually going to take serious, but I ended up leaving Rio, and she was in her 50s, and she had her own business. But there was two I dated. The black one from Dillon, South Carolina, I was dating her for a long time, and we were serious. So to answer your question, yes. And then the El Salvador one, that was like one of my best girlfriends. I remember my mom was kind of keen on it. She didn't really like it. She thought it was weird and stuff like that. And she said, you know, she's kind of too old for you, even though I was in my 30s when this happened. But with the El Salvador one, but she treated me good and everything. And my mom was like, oh, I hope you're using protection. And I said, why? Because in the third world countries, you know, they don't got the same medical stuff. I said, Mom, this is like the best girlfriend I've ever had. Like, why am I worried about her giving me anything? She works, she cleans up the house, she gives me a massage when I come to go to her house. Like, I don't have to worry about her sleeping around. She's good.
She gives you butterscotch and licorice, and she calls you such a nice young man. Well, actually, I shouldn't even talk about it because it's not a big gap. He's 44 and she's 50.
And we were actually in a relationship. So to answer your question, I was
Can you
dating.
tell me one thing that you like about her that doesn't revolve around her doing something for you?
I will say one thing I liked about her. I think she actually helped stepped up my Spanish game at one point. Because she was an
No, no,
immigrant,
no,
so
no,
she
no.
didn't.
That's still her doing something for you. What she wants to do, what she's angling towards, because everything that you like in a relationship is how a person makes you feel, which is them doing something for you. So, what she really wants to hear is how beautiful she is.
No. One quality about her that you like that is not directly related to her doing something to improve your life. So what
Um,
does that go ahead?
Oh, so okay, I get that. So she's always trying to work hard and stuff like that, and make money and stuff like that. She's very goal
But
oriented.
that directly contributed to the improvement of your life.
No,
What
the money didn't. The money, because that's the thing. Like when I'm talking about her, making plates and cooking and making her money, it didn't. She didn't give me any money. It's just I
Okay.
like.
Somebody says she's looking for hope. Yeah. And so now we kind of get an understanding of how she get these guys to say the pussy is splish splash and shit like that. She just like angles the question completely. No, tell us exactly what it is that she don't do for you, but something that she does. So she's just leaving out the line of questioning, the leading questions that she uses to get guys to say what she later tells us. She's like, "Oh yeah, they just tell me this. They just randomly tell me that elderly pussy is splish splash."
What I liked about her was she had her own business, and at the time I was doing taxi driving,
Thank
so
you,
we could
Bray.
relate. You know what I mean? So she was selling plates, making money, and then she had a second job. So she liked to work, and also too, when I was working landscaping and I was like sore and I
See you,
didn't really,
friends. Go
huh?
ahead.
When I was sore and I just wanted to shower and then get a massage. She wasn't tripping when I didn't want to do, the nasty work. she was understanding. So what I liked about her is she's understanding. If you're working hard, she can kind of understand, like, okay, he worked hard. I understand him. And, I like to work hard and make money. So we were both on that same page. And she also...
You like that she didn't want to fuck you. Okay. Got you.
So like to have fun and go to the beach and stuff like that. And
Okay.
so
Very
we had
good.
that simple as, yeah.
Can I give you an
So
example?
let me ask you, if you had to equally financially contribute in that relationship, would you have still wanted to be with her?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mind.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I didn't really have to, except for taking her out to dinner, but a Mexican restaurant. But other than that, I mean, me and it was like 50-50 almost, so to speak. It wasn't
Okay,
like
so
a
you
one-sided
already
where, yeah, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm just spending all the money and she's not spending nothing.
Milana, let me give you an example. I give you an example. Like my wife's Salvadorian, right?
Yeah. Shout out to them.
I'm here in the United States, right? So
Yeah.
kind of like we're on equal income. But I
Yeah.
always tell people, always ask me, like, people, I'm like, yeah, I pay for everything because that's just how I am as a provider. But like,
Wait, you said your wife is Salvadorian, but you're in the U.S. Please don't tell me that you live in a different country than your wife. Please don't tell me that, because we just saw the video where the women from Colombia was saying about dudes from in long distance relationships.
I tell people all the time, like, my wife is the better part of me. She keeps me from being the worst part of me. So when people ask me, what do I love about her? I'm like, I would probably be dead if it wasn't without my wife today. Because when I was a single man, I did a lot of reckless things. My wife looks after me better than I look after myself. So when I make bad decisions, she's always there to pull me back. She's always there to remind me about my children, to remind me about my family. She's always in my ass to make me make better choices that I didn't make before I met her. So when I think about...
Then you're an idiot. All right, let's go back some.
Because when I was a single man, I did a lot of reckless things. Looks after me better than I look after myself. So when I make bad decisions, she's always there to pull me back. She's a
leader. She's the leader of the relationship.
There to remind me about my children, to remind me about my family. She's always in my ass to make...
Yeah, I just want to make sure I heard that. He actually said she's always in my ass. So now we know who wears the strap on and who wears the panties. She's always in his ass. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay.
Me make better choices that I didn't make before I met her. So when I think about my wife in a lot of ways, or when you think about, so when you're out there looking for a woman in life,
Yeah.
you want to look for somebody that's gonna make you better than who you are.
Yeah.
Because as men, we think...
By the way, boomers are fucking ground zero for simps. For black simps, boomers are the first and the worst. They are the biggest simp generation ever. Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, we're just dealing with the aftermath of what the fuck the boomers set into place. And it's not like they got it from their fathers, because grandpa wasn't a simp, it's just these niggas. They were the biggest simp generation ever. Ever!
We think we're complete. But what you are looking for, you're not looking for a piece of ass. You're not looking for somebody that's pretty. You're looking for somebody that's going to sit there and say, Milana, push you to your greater potential.
Yeah.
And until you find that, you ain't found the right one. You
Yeah.
want someone that's going to tell you fucking no.
Dominic, you always saying shit. It's a figure of speech. No, the figure of speech is on my ass, not in it. Listen, unless she was raised in a San Francisco prison, the figure of speech is not like an in it. It's on it. My boss is always on my ass about coming in late. Stop trying to defend depravity. Just stop it.
Don't do that because they love you and they care about you. That's what you want. And these are the messages we need to be telling people in this space.
Yeah.
Stop going out there because right now everybody's just looking for a piece of ass.
Yeah.
That's all
Some
they're
kids
looking
are
for.
looking for candy.
Yes, and it looks like your wife found a piece of ass.
Not everybody.
And everybody's looking to get paid, and it's just a vicious cycle. O'Shea Duke Jackson assistant says, so long story short, these men who are into older women are only into older women to satisfy their deviant sexual desires. That ain't what Milano said. He explained a lot of other reasons why he liked her. And not because they...
No. He explained all the shit that she did for him, including let him fuck without a condom. And, like, it's... Okay. Oh, and that they're easier and more desperate. You had to pry it out of him for him to find something that, a quality that he admires about her. O'Shea Duke Jackson assistant is right.
Connect with them mentally with them. He said he talked about how he had long conversations with her and things like that. But y'all don't say the same thing when it's the other way around. Y'all don't say that these men who are 40 and 50 and dating 18 to 25 are only in it to satisfy their deep sexual desires. Mulana.
It's not really deviant sexual desires, but yes, the only reason why a man is with any woman is to satisfy his sexual desires. What the fuck? And because men don't sexually desire old bitches, they are far less sexually desirable.
Actually talked about having conversations for hours with this woman. And but you reduce that down to he's only there to fulfill his sexual desires. I mean, all of y'all want to have sex with a woman.
Yeah. Well,
but
not an old woman. Damnedest thing I've seen, right? This was back in college. They sometimes, for whatever reason, you get people on campus that don't go there, but they go for the scenery, like the ambiance. Maybe sometimes the food court or something like that, right? So I'll never forget when they were all white. There were a group of old men, and there was a group of old women, and the old men were sitting down, and the old women was doing a little dance, and I'm using air quotes for the word dance, for the old men. And they were playing old-timey music. Okay, so how can I describe the dance routine? Okay, first of all, let's start here. It was choreographed. It was choreographed, so it wasn't like they were twerking or anything like that, or just random free for all. No, they actually, it was maybe like 10 women, and they were all doing the same thing at the same time. Um, the style of dance would be something along the line of, well, I want to say square dance, but square dance they actually they like hook each other and then they do the do si do. So how would I describe? Basically, you know, you could tell that they were counting it off in their head, like oh, like the cha cha slide. That's the best way to describe it. It was like the cha cha slide, but they weren't telling you what to do on the song. That's the best way to describe it. So yeah, I seen that, and the men were just staring. And then when it was over, they just gave. They weren't enthused. They just clapped like to placate the performance. Now keep in mind that this is in the backdrop of step shows that exist. You got the AKAs, you got the Deltas, and they do their routines, and it's a lot more elaborate, energetic, just better in every way. That's 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 aging. That's aging. A group of people in the same retirement community, a group of women in the same retirement community say, we're gonna go on the campus and show that those young colored girls ain't got nothing on us. We can do a step show. Ah, 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 ah. And that was that.
So
It's
the
funny.
other thing,
You know what's funny, Mariah? Him saying that is so bonkers because even when I was dating the El Salvadoran lady, there was times she'd think I was cheating on her because I didn't want to sleep with her, but I just liked being her with her so much I didn't care
There you
about
go.
the sex. And she was like, "Oh, you don't find me attractive?" I said, "No, I do. I just like being with you more, and us watching Netflix and laughing at our certain shows and stuff like that." And then also, like I said, it helped me learn the Spanish more. And that was more important. Like I remember we went to Wilmington Beach.
Okay, I hope she knows English because the fact that you were like having long in depth conversations with a language barrier is really something.
And we hung out with some of our Mexican friends, and that was like priceless. You know what I mean? Because I got to mingle with her friends. We hung out on the beach and stuff like that. So for my sexual deviance, when the funny thing about it is the lady literally said, she said, she even one time got insecure. She said, "I know you're too young for me, but I'm just a whole horny old woman." So who's really
She's not actually horny. I mean, because you lose your sex drive. And if you don't believe me, how come women who were married at 20 and then turn 50 don't all of a sudden get a jolt? Ever notice that this, sexual peak thing never applies to women who are off the market? Like you never hear husbands talk about, yeah, just out of nowhere, my wife just peaked, and next thing you know, notice how that never happens. It's always the women who are still single at an older age. We're like, well, I'm in my peak now because that's their selling point. They're selling easier access. And what they're really just selling is, I'm willing to cut the red tape on fucking and pretend like I'm doing it out of my newfound drive. That's what they're really doing.
looking out for the sexual deviants? You never know. She might
yeah,
be looking at it for me more than I'm looking at that for her. So these
no
guys are
facts.
just assuming because they're pointing the fingers because they got the dirtiest hands, and they're really on that sexual deviant stuff.
Yeah. Jizzy says, I ain't gonna lie, y'all glazing these older chicks way too much. I mean, but if we was talking shit about
Oh, even her chat, dang. At least not everybody is simping. There's like a lot of dudes here that are just like, listen, I ain't having this shit.
older women, would you care? I mean, just being honest, like a lot of, if we was on here talking about all the negatives of older women, most of y'all wouldn't say nothing. They got heavy negatives also. Everybody come with negatives. Middle age is the bad. Here's the thing: we all gonna get middle aged. We all gonna get middle aged. But hell, majority of the people that watch me are middle aged people. So it's to the point where do y'all think that when men, honestly and truly,
They're middle aged men that want to fuck you.
do y'all think that as y'all get older, y'all become easier to deal with and come with more positive than negatives? No. The same things that y'all accuse of women, oh, they stuck in their ways, they hard to deal with, they got all this baggage. Y'all coming with that shit too.
Yeah.
Y'all come.
It's not the same by a ridiculous margin. And you know it.
With that shit, and y'all want to pour that baggage on an 18, 19, 20-year-old. Y'all, like, it's like, here's the thing about life. We all got to get older, and we all are going to accumulate a certain amount of experiences. It's how you handle that baggage, or it's how you handle what you come in with that matters the most. And it's like, I just don't understand the older women hate. And that's why, even though I'm not technically an older woman yet, but I'm not in my 20s, I always try to show some grace toward the older women
because you're gonna be an older woman one day, and you're not gonna be a woman in her 20s ever again.
We all gonna get there, and some of y'all already there.
Exactly. We all gonna get there. Exactly.
And hate women your age, and I don't understand for the life of me, because I'm telling you right now, me at 33, I'm not checking for you.
Mariah, let me.
You see how notice how you say I ain't checking for you. And dude, the oldest one there, just brushed it off.
Let me ask Milana. Because right, and you right around the corner from being an old bitch. I'm sorry. Listen to Samurai, you right around the corner now. I'm just gonna let you know.
What baggage do you have compared to Mariah, GC? That's a good question. I actually don't have kids, so technically she would have more baggage than I do. I don't know. Give an example of baggage.
I'm not there yet, though. You know what I'm saying?
You round the corner, so I'm just let you know.
Age where I'm at that age where the men my age still like me, the older men still like me, and the younger men like
Mariah, I'm an old nigga. I would be checking for you, okay? So you can relax.
So all this stuff like fuck within your own generation. That was bullshit. Young people fuck different and blah blah blah. That was all bullshit. Because you're a boomer, she's a millennial. How pathetic are you when she just said, I ain't checking for your old ass. I'll be checking for you.
I'll be the old nigga checking for you. Okay.
Right.
And if I ain't dead, it'd be a whole lot of other old niggas around there checking for you too. Cause you're always gonna be checked for, and you know that, girl.
But I want to say
You
something.
know that. But hold on, Milana.
This is sad. This nigga is sad. You always gonna be checked for, and you know that. Okay. What if she was 18? Ah.
I want to ask you this one question.
Hold on, wait. Oh, shit. Y'all be older
If older
men.
women are
Y'all
still
be
single, it's likely that there is something wrong with her mentality, since she would have been snatched off the market if she was a catch. True.
still single.
Now she's gonna say men are single too. Yeah, that's because something's wrong with the women. But nevertheless, I won't even go there with that one. I will say that women have infinitely more options than men. It's like ridiculously. The comparison is utterly ridiculous. Meaning that even an attractive man has fewer options than an average woman, or even a below average woman. So through all of those options and opportunities, if she still finds herself single, then yes, something is terribly wrong. She wants younger women to get men their age while wanting younger men to go after older women. Well, she wants to believe that women of any age can get men of any age. And at the same time, she wants to believe that men at any age can only get women that's around their age. So a 65-year-old woman can get a man at any age, but a 65-year-old man can only get a woman who's 63 to 67.
Two-time divorcees. If an older woman's still single, it's like there's something wrong with her mentally, since she would have been snatched off the market if she was a catch. Y'all men, it's a lot of y'all men get us to a certain age.
Ain't
And
nobody
y'all
saying about O'Shea assistant. We
right.
know that motherfucker troll.
A lot of these women, here's the thing, a lot of these women got married young, they got divorced.
Yeah.
That's something wrong. That's something wrong. Divorce is something wrong. She broke her vows or drove a man to break his vows. There's something wrong with that. Listen, men do not divorce women unless there's something extremely wrong with the woman. And women divorce men because there's something extremely wrong with the woman.
Yeah.
Most people are getting married in their early 20s, like people like to promote in that red pill space. By the time they're hitting divorce, that's the majority of.
Yeah, we really like to promote that. So basically, she's anti-young love. It is amazing how these bras like to promote themselves and only themselves. Any other alternative is just wrong. You shouldn't get married in your 20s because you'll wind up divorced.
Of them. So life is life. Sometimes shit don't work out. She might have been a good woman. Niggas ain't appreciate that. and she had to dip. Like, it's so
Straw woman.
many reasons why a person can be single, and I can say the same thing for men. So it's like y'all gotta stop being like that. Life be life, and life is not linear, or life don't go how y'all think it's gonna go just because you think it should. It's not that fucking simple.
Any woman past 50 that's single has passed up thousands of opportunities. Any man past 50 who's single passed up dozens, maybe hundreds of opportunities.
Y'all know it's people here who literally will run away from solid relationships with good people, and then y'all be looking at the good person like they wrong. Whole time the person, whether it's a man, a trifling ass woman, or a trifling ass man, it had nothing to do with their partner. They just want to be in the streets, and then y'all be, oh well, something wrong with them because they still single. No, you think people would appreciate a good person in a stable relationship. Most people say they want that shit. They can't handle what come with it. They can't handle the discipline that come with it. They can't handle the emotional intelligence that come with it. They can't handle the accountability that come with it. A lot of people have been taught that love is toxic. So when they get into a relationship with somebody that's,
when she get triggered, and when she feels her sexual marketplace value attacked, she goes on a rampage.
it's not toxic, that shit looks scary to them. So y'all gotta stop doing that and look at people for people.
Mariah, believe me when I tell you, I understand exactly what you just said.
Come on now.
Because I've been through it.
Yeah, I don't blame people because they for being single as they got older.
This nigga hadn't said a word in like an hour or so, and his only words was, "I understand exactly what you just said."
Now, if I get to know you and you're showing me some toxic ways about you, then I'll be like, okay, I understand why you single and you're such and such age. But I'm not just gonna look at you and assume that you're single because you a certain age, just because you're.
Somebody says she's just one of the millions of females against the men's space. Well, I mean, but she's doing the chameleon thing though. That's what makes it different. She's doing the chameleon thing, and she has the, the network of, of Sims. This is madness.
A certain age and be like, oh, something must be wrong with them. No, I need to know you. I need to know your story. I need to know how you are. Then I'm gonna determine why I believe you're single. Go ahead.
Somebody says, is there a good reason for a woman to get divorced? Absolutely, but those are extraordinarily rare. Justifiable moral divorces from a woman is extraordinarily rare. The most common reason for a divorce that a woman divorces a man is because she feels that her life would be better divorced than single. That's it, that's all. She feels that life would be more fun if she was divorced than single. Like Tia Mowry.
Rico. All right, I got to get some rest. Mariah, thanks for having me. Rico, hit me up. Y'all hear me?
All right. Good night, babe. Thank you for coming on.
All right, cool. I'll see you later.
Okay,
we can't hear him. He's talking, but we can't.
I'm sorry. I can hear you, babe. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming up. I fucks with you, brother. I absolutely do. Everything you did, everything you said, it was solid. Again, I hope don't take any
not everything he said. Come on now. Some things he said, not everything.
What happened?
No. I follow you. I watched Leg Day. I did leg day today, nigga.
Okay, you watched it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
shut the fuck up.
like, and I'm not saying you're a friend of mine. Say anything sideways where I don't have a channel. But the fact of the matter is, I'm something crazy, Bates. And this is what I think about, right? Because most of those people that got, unfortunately, unalive in the States, overseas, wherever, like Social Loner said, we need to ride for the babies.
Yeah.
If I see it, I'm going to say something. I'm not asking you to go out and touch a motherfucker. But step up, don't look the other way.
Nobody anywhere ever
Yeah.
is looking the other
Report
way
it,
on
report
no
and I'm
baby.
not. But when I heard that, I just want you to know, like, I'm a fan of yours. And as a fan, how I received it, like, okay, I wasn't on the live. I couldn't go back. You and Social had a good interaction. You said that, and I'm like, maybe people like, y'all some fuck niggas. Because he's doing it on the regular, on the streets. I'm like,
Thank you, Dame Dash Films. He says, I just spoke with Rello in the DM, and bro said fades will be dispersed for anyone putting his name in their mouth.
fuck Rello. Fade for me. Like, fade for me, Rello.
Appreciate though.
Future, they in Brazil.
What else?
Two. Don't do a video 3 days from.
Anybody who I saw that video, I didn't click on.
Oh, so you saw it, right?
All right, this is going nowhere. All right, so I made my point. She's in a DR, getting child support from a nigga that she got knocked up by. In her night clothes, talking to a bunch of men that's trying to fuck. One of whom claims to be married while doing this. Like, I mean, isn't it like 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning? Like, where the fuck is your wife? Type shit. Oh, she's in El Salvador, which means that it's not actually your wife. This shit's wild. Listen, I let shit like this go, but the chameleon aspect of it is what gets me. The chameleon aspect is what gets me. And the thing about chameleons is all you have to do is nudge them a bit and you'll see where they are. Yeah, and all I have to do is just like nudge her a bit, like yes, I would date an 18-year-old. And she got hyper defensive. The insecurity is wild. She really needs this type of validation. And fellas just feed into it. I'm gonna read some of your comments, give you like 7 minutes, and then head out myself. Rico, prove your point. This nigga. Men don't bring their baggage like older women. No, I mean, men really just like learn to deal with their baggage too. Because we're far less emotional. Like, baggage is when someone has an emotional reaction, a sustained emotional reaction to something. It's just something to the effect of a Scorpio cheated on me, so I'm never going to date a Scorpio again. Men don't say shit like that. If a Scorpio does you dirty, they don't stop dating Scorpios because they're not gonna not fuck a 12th of the population. Even men who get stuff like PTSD, which can be considered a form of baggage, they work through that over time. Embarrassed for his grandkids. As you should be. Because she is the one who's single. Now I think she has like she says that she's dating some Dominican dude. I don't know how true that is. I also don't really know what the nature of their relationship is. I mean, like, is there a local dude that she decide to let hit it? Like, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of women um, who go to the Dominican looking for husbands and shit like that. I've seen some very attractive white women doing that. Okay, I answered that one. Let's see. Have you came across a crash? How you talking about the one on Razor Rays? Yeah, I did. I was gonna do the response, but I never got around to it. Yep, she pokes out ever so often. What do you mean, pokes out? Single is not married. True. Um. Okay, so when you say poked out, you're talking about her outfit. Well, let me show you something. Let me show y'all the difference between like a real pick me and her. And I'm talking about like dress, attire, demeanor, and shit like that. So let's go into that. Damn, does she even have a channel anymore? Well, she has a. I was gonna look up Bella Rings, but when I typed in her name, a bunch of rings came up. So I'm gonna go to another one. All right, let me see if I can see one of her live streams. So we can see what she looks like, how she behaves on camera, etc., etc., etc. Oh, so she didn't cam up on this one. I'm gonna look up like Space Shard A. I want to give y'all like a glimpse of how actual pick me's, especially ones who've been picked, dress. date, bell rings, like, I mean, but even outside of that, oh wait, there it goes. Dang, all right, I can share it now. But even outside of that, even outside of them, even the ones who are more provocative in their um, in their attire, they don't have a self-serving message telling men what they should do. She has a message that's clear that she's guiding men into who they should be with. And then her own stance is, I only find 1% of you attractive, and I only date dudes that are between 33 and 33 and a half. That's what she says. That's her message. You will eat my shit and like the taste, woman. I don't know what kind of words these are. Folks out on her sisterhood side. If it improves someone's lives, it's hard to begrudge someone getting divorced. Um, no. God, you get on my nerves sometimes. No. Okay. Um, if it improves your life at the expense of everyone else's life, then you're a complete and total utter piece of shit. If you're a person that said, fuck them kids, fuck this woman, Brenda got a big old butt, so I'm leaving you, then you are a male piece of shit. If you are a Brittany Renner style woman, then you are a piece of shit. If you are a Tia Mowry type woman, then you're a piece of shit. And that's the time. So anyway, I want to thank everybody that participated on this. Wait, let me see. They can retort with studies saying the kid's happiness correlates with the mother's happiness. What study says that? What study says that? That's okay. If that was the case, then she's a piece of shit for not making herself happy for the kid's sake. And now she's going broke living in Mississippi. Who lives in Mississippi on purpose? Oh, you talking about Renner? I don't know she lived in Mississippi. That's good. That's where the fuck she belongs. Fucking dirty, nasty bitch. For those of you who don't know, Mississippi people eat dirt. Anyway, this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.